The Premier League has just kicked off, so today I'm going to be doing my Premier League predictions. Let's just get right into it, starting from the bottom. In 20th position, I think Huddersfield will be the first team to get relegated. Promoted from the playoffs, they've made a lot of signings, and although they did beat Crystal Palace 3-0, honestly, I don't think they'll be strong enough for the rest of the Premier League. In 19th, I have gone for Swansea City. Now, they have a couple good players. They've got Llorente, they've got Sigurdsson. If Sigurdsson leaves this transfer window, then they're definitely going to go down. If Sigurdsson stays, then they might still have a chance, but I'm not backing them to stay up. In 18th position, I've gone for Burnley. Now, they've got a solid squad, but they've lost Michael Keane, they've lost a couple other players, and they haven't really brought in a lot of quality. And compared to the rest of the competition, I think that they're going to go down. In 17th, I've gone with my team, Brighton and Hove Albion. Now, we've brought in the likes of Izquierdo from Bruges, we've brought in David Proper, Izzy Brown. We've got a quality squad now, also Matty Ryan in goal, who had a solid performance against Man City yesterday. Also, I'm going to be uploading a Man City vlog, so make sure you check that out soon. But anyway, we have a really good squad now, which can compete with the Premier League. I know we've lost Kyle because obviously he's broken his leg. He's out for 3 months, but our squad is solid. Knockout's coming back from injury, so I think we should be able to stay up and compete with the rest of the Premier League. In 16th, I've gone with Newcastle, the team that beat us to the Championship title. Honestly, they've got a good squad. They didn't deserve to go down a couple of seasons ago, but I don't think they'll be able to climb the table as much as people think, although they will stay up quite comfortably. In 15th, I've gone with Stoke City. Now, they've lost one of their best players, if not the best player in their team, Arnautovic. They've also lost a couple players. I think their squad, they haven't really brought in anyone world class, and their squad, although they did get Zuma on loan, I don't think their squad's good enough to get any higher than this position, but I think 15th will be comfortable for them. In 14th, I've gone with Crystal Palace. Now, recently losing to Huddersfield on the first day of the season wasn't great for them. Obviously, they're Brighton's rivals, and I don't think they have a very good squad. Obviously, they've got Benteke and Andros Townsend, who probably are their main players. Also, Zaha, he could have quite a good season, which would help them climb the table, but I don't think they're going to be able to get any higher than 14th. In 13th, I've gone with Watford. Now, they've got a new manager. Again, they seem to be losing managers every season. They've got quite a solid squad. Brighton are trying to sign one of their best strikers, Troy Deeney, at the moment, and that could affect their position in the table if we get them. But if we get him, sorry. But I reckon they'll be 13th. In 12th position, I've gone with West Brom. Now, the team I put above them is mainly decided on one of their signings, but I think both of these teams, West Brom, they just have a solid defence. They don't really concede many goals. Foster in goal, obviously. They haven't really made that many signings, but I think their squad and the way they performed last year should be enough to get them a decent position in 12th. In 11th, I've gone with Bournemouth. Now, they've got a very, very solid squad, especially with the new signing of Jermaine Defoe. He will really help them. Obviously, last year they didn't get a huge amount of goals, but they did do well. Obviously, they got a very good manager in Eddie Howe, and I think that Jermaine Defoe will really help them to get secure the 11th spot. In 10th, I've gone with Southampton. Quite a hard team to predict because their squad is good, but then sometimes they underperform, sometimes they exceed expectations. But I've put them in 10th, middle of the table, thereabouts. They've got a good squad, so that should be enough to keep them there. In 9th, I've gone with West Ham. Now, they've got such a good squad this year, obviously signing Joe Hart, they've got Marko Arnautovic from Stoke, as I mentioned earlier, and they've just got an overall good squad. So I think, obviously, the competition in the top 8 is so strong, so that won't probably take them any higher, but I think 9th position is right for them. In 8th, I've gone with Leicester City. Now, kicking off their campaign really well against quite a good Arsenal side. They have a very good squad. I think Vardy's going to do a lot better this year. They've brought in a couple of players, not many, but I think their squad will do a lot better than last year. Obviously, Shakespeare, this is his first start to a season with Leicester, obviously coming halfway through the season last year when Ranieri got sacked. But I think they will come 8th, not any higher, because the team in 7th are a bit stronger. In 7th position, I've gone with Everton. Now, they've had, although they lost Lukaku, they've had such a good transfer market so far. They've signed David Klaassen, Pickford, Michael Keane, quite a few other players, and I think that they will just be outside the Europa League spot. They've got a really solid squad, but the top 6 this year is so strong that I don't think they're gonna do any higher this year. Into 6th position, I've put Arsenal. Now, their manager Arsene Wenger, I honestly think he should have been sacked last season, although they did win the FA Cup. Like, it's not as big a competition as it used to be. Their squad, they've got Lacazette. Obviously, I think Sanchez, well, it's best if Sanchez leaves the club. I'm not sure if he will, he probably will, but if he stays, then they might climb a bit higher. But at the moment, I'm putting them in 6th position. In 5th, I've gone with Tottenham. Now, I would probably make them higher, except that they're playing at Wembley this year, and they really didn't do very well at Wembley last year. They've lost Kyle Walker. Danny Rose looks to be leaving as well, and to be honest, they haven't really brought anyone good in. So if they keep the same squad as they did last year, then I think that they're going to come 5th, especially at the new stadium. Now, onto the top 4. In 4th position, I've gone with Liverpool. Now, they've brought in Salah, they've brought in a new left back. Their squad looks to be pretty strong this season. They obviously drew with Watford. They played very well that game. They're unfortunate to concede so late on, but they've got a solid squad, so I think they should be able to get top 4 this year. Into 3rd position, I think that Manchester City will come 3rd. Obviously, they played Brighton quite recently. They're just a very, very strong side. They've brought in Edison. They've also brought in a couple other players. They've got a very, very strong squad. Like, compared to Brighton, you just couldn't break them down very well. We were on the defence the whole time. And although I don't think they're going to be top 2, they will come 3rd this year, securing Champions League place. Into 2nd position, I've put Manchester United in 2nd. They've got a very strong squad. Obviously, signing Lindelof will help Pogba to move up the pitch, so I'm hoping he could probably have a better season this year. They're looking to re-sign Ibra, but they're probably one of their main signings. Lukaku scored twice today in a 4-0 victory against, I can't remember who it was, West Ham, that was it. I've got him as my fantasy captain as well, so he got 20 points, which was great. But he's obviously, I think he's going to score so many goals this season. Already 2 goals from 1 game. Looked promising in pre-season too. So I think they're just going to be one off the Premier League title. Which means in 1st place, I've gone with Chelsea to do back-to-back titles. Although they did lose 3-2 to Burnley yesterday, I think they've got such a strong squad with the likes of Kante. They've signed Morata, although I don't think he's world-class ability. He will do well in the Prem, and they've just got an overall very solid squad, and they should be able to repeat their success of last season. So here is my final table. Let me know in the comments what you think about my predictions, if they're good or bad. Also leave what you think as well. But anyway, this is going to be the end of the video, so drop a like if you enjoyed, please subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all later.